Hey everyone, Dr. Dave here, gut digestion focused naturopathic doctor. Basically, if you've got gut issues, chronic disease, or autoimmune disease, I can probably help. And so can most of my naturopathic colleagues. So today I want to talk about bloating. Because a lot of people get bloating. I see it a lot in practice, and it's not necessarily associated with just one condition, but it's a pretty common thing to see. So, basically bloating is pain in the abdomen or a feeling of pressure. You can look 9 months pregnant, but that's distension when it actually gets big, and you look like you got a food baby. That's distension, and bloating just means the pain and feeling of it. So they're a little bit different. I see bloating with people with IBS, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, functional dyspepsia, basically just any sort of gut issues. Often you'll see bloating. Other GI conditions have it too, and one of the more sinister ones that I've seen lately is pancreatitis. So that's one to keep in mind. That's a little more serious. You probably need to see a medical practitioner, functional medicine doctor, naturopathic doctor. Okay, so it's uncomfortable and embarrassing. That's why it sucks. And it's pretty common. Like some reports say about 30% of you people out there get bloating. And even the medical papers, they say it decreases quality of life. They have a quality of life scale, and those with bloating have lesser quality of life. So it does affect people. So therefore it's important, even though it's not well understood and therefore not well treated in general by conventional medicine. It still needs to be addressed for optimal health. Okay, so bloating may be associated with dysbiosis. So this is a term that naturopaths use a lot, just indicating that there's an imbalance of bacteria in the guts, anywhere in the guts, but generally in the intestinal tract. So research has shown these conditions, which I'm going to list in a minute, to be associated with dysbiosis. And it doesn't mean that they're causative, but it's really interesting to know that they're associated with this, because a lot of them they say they have no cure, or they're of obscure sort of origins. We don't really know. So I think it's really important to know that the gut being in imperfect health, or having a little bit of dysbiosis, can lead to these conditions, precipitate them in some way. So these conditions are ALS, or Lou Gehrig's disease here in North America, MS, fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue, autoimmune diseases including rheumatoid arthritis, and Parkinson's. So those are heavy hitting. A lot of those are real heavy hitting conditions to have, and they feel like you have a life sentence. But if we know that things like dysbiosis may be contributing to them, then it's time to act now. If we have something like bloating or other indicators of imperfect health in the bowels. And always there's the gut-brain connection, which I won't go into this. I just want to mention it because the gut-brain connection is probably how these diseases that are of sort of neurological origin come about, because the gut is giving information to the brain and vice versa in a bidirectional manner all the time. So like bloating isn't serious, right? Or is it? I mean, looking at what we just said, like, could bloating indicate dysbiosis, which then can be a precursor, maybe, or a precipitator of serious health outcomes? I think it's worth treating, because normal is not optimal. That's a big thing I like to differentiate. Just because you've had something for a while doesn't mean it's good, and it doesn't mean it's optimal. You could maybe even be better. And your gut is your nervous system's number one advisor. That's why I like to use the gut as a way of treating the nervous system in a way. And the nervous system controls everything. It's the master controller. So if you can influence the nervous system in a good way, then you influence the entire body. So what causes bloating? It can be maldigestion or improper digestion of some macromolecules, and it's often carbs. And there's rationale for using the FODMAPs or SCD diet, which you can read about extensively otherwise beyond this little talk we're having here. But basically these diets, they honor the importance of carbs and their impact on the bowel bacteria. The bacteria in the bowel like to use carbs as an energy source. So that's the That's sometimes the origin of bloating is this bacterial end products from them eating inside of us and then letting out little bacteria burps and farts because we have to get rid of their waste. They're living inside of us, so we have to get rid of it for them. Other issues, with bloating may include the production and movement of gas through the bowels. So like problems with the intestines moving it along at the right sort of pace, and maybe uncoordinated in its transmission of gas through the bowel. Hypochlorhydria, so this is too low stomach acid, bacterial fermentation, and autotoxicity. This is sort of what I was alluding to with the farts that the bacteria let, the burps that they let, whatever you want to call it. Let's just try and have fun with it. But really, they're living inside of us, and they have waste products, and we have to get rid of them. Food sensitivities and allergies are always a possibility for bloating, and you can see your naturopathic doctor to get testing for that, or a functional medicine doctor. But the truth of all this is, bloating is not really well understood. The mechanisms are not quite perfectly understood, like a lot of things in medicine, if we really start to look at them. So some of the things you can do, first things first, chew properly. That's what's starting the digestive process, so chew properly. Don't drink while you eat. Some medications can lead to problems, such as I would say the most important to me would be proton pump inhibitors, which decrease your stomach acid and therefore compromise your digestive apparatus from that point on. Stress, deep breathing, stress as the problem, deep breathing as one of the solutions. These are important because of that gut-brain axis. Remember, everything that's going on in your gut is influencing the brain and vice versa. Other issues, to address, like if you're constipated, if you don't poo more than twice a week, you gotta take care of that first, and that should be done first. And there's some easy ways, some safe ways to do that, that are not really using boom pills, as some people call them. So address those things first. So I hope you like that sort of brief introduction to bloating and the possible causes of it, because like I said, it's not perfectly well understood, but it's easily treated, I find, when someone engages in a better lifestyle and a therapeutic diet and some supplementation. So hopefully you like that, and if you'd like to know more, I'll soon be making a little video course on bloating and with the top 6 or 7 things that I use in clinical practice to address bloating. So until next time, keep nourishing, keep moving, keep relaxing.